Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So this is the last topic for this event. So are you guys tired for so many presentation? Excited? Miss you home? Yeah. So this is Jingling again. I'm a software developer engineer in the Beijing team, and I have joined this Interop project for more than 5 years. And today this presentation is talk about the Lync protocol overview. How many of you guys know about Lync? Okay, not so bad. Much better than in Beijing event. So this is today's agenda. First, I'm going to introduce a little about Lync because it seems that some of you guys still do not know about Lync. And after introduce the Lync, I will introduce the overview of the Lync protocols, and then followed by introduce a step into the one of the most common used Lync protocol to see how those Lync protocols are constructed. What's the difference between Lync protocol and any other protocols? And then I will show a typical use scenarios how those Lync protocols can work together to cooperate. So this is a Lync product introduction. In one word, Lync is unified communication server, which can give you a uniform user experience for like instance message, for audio video conference, for enterprise voice, for application sharing. This kind of all kinds of this multimedia can be used by. You can have this in Lync. So this is Lync, and later I will show you an example. So this is one example. I just get a short screenshot from my computer. I'm making a call with my workmates, and you can see over there, there is a phone joining in this meeting too, and we can share our desktop, we can share our Chrome notepad, and we can share the programs, and we can also we are calling with each other, and I'm also show my desktop to my workmates. So this is the typical scenario for Lync. So how we use Lync every day. And this is one example of the deployment of Lync. And here you can see this is one user can access the Lync from the internet, and even we have a firewall between the different users. The real-time multiple media data can go through, can pass through those firewalls, and we also have agents. What's these agents? For example, currently Lync users can communicate with MSN users, and also the Google Communicator. Oh, not the Google Communicator, but the Yahoo Communicator users can make the phone call to our online to our Lync users. How they did this? They use the agents. They use Lync agents. But the precondition, of course, is that the third-party communicator shares their user data with Lync. That's a precondition. And also, the phone can join the Lync conference meeting. How we can make this? This is how our phone join our Lync server. Typically, most of the phone use network is PSTN, so we need the IP PSTN gateway to give the phones access to our server. And then because of the payload of the phone voice is different from the Lync voice, so we need the media server to transfer the data between each other. And also, this is the same user, actually the same user with an internet user, just without the firewall, just inside our domain controller. This is, I think it's a typical example of how of the network deployment of a Lync. So here goes the Lync protocol overview. Actually, if you want to learn about the Lync protocol, this protocol OCS prot is an entry point for you, and it contains 4 parts of the information. The first part is a product architecture overview, and then the environment and the network topology. The tools I have already introduced to you, and then comes the Lync protocol families, and then the most important user scenarios, how those protocols can work together. So then I will introduce the protocol family and the one typical user scenario to show that. So this is a protocol family for Lync. So if you want to develop the software for users can join a conference meeting like this kind of conference, what's the important part? The first one is the users, right? The user to join the meeting. And the second one is real-time data, like audio and video data. And the third one is how to transfer those data between each users. So this is the 3 parts from the for the protocols. These 2 protocols is for get the using data, and those protocols I used for transfer the real-time data, and those protocols I designed for create the sessions like how to transfer those data. For example, these 2 protocols I like share the the user data between 2 companies, like 2 different domain controller, how to share the data between the different Lync server, or not just Lync server, other kind of server, as long as they follow the Lync protocols. And at here, those real-time protocols are all about the format of the payload, like the RTP is a real-time transport protocol, and RTA-SPF is a payload for the application shell, and SDP is for how negotiate the parameter, the IP address and the port for transfer the real-time data. Like SRTP is security, how to make the encryption of our data, and that's and so on. They are all for the format of the our real-time metadata. And here, those protocols is you remember in my previous slides, their users need to pass through the firewall between the different users. So those protocols are designed for how those media can pass through the firewalls. So that's the protocol for media. And then here, this is the control signal control protocols, which are used to create a session and to negotiate the parameters and create the framework for the meeting requests, like this kind of things. And session, the first part is a session initiation protocols. Is almost the first step for each conference. You need to register to the server. You need authentication, and you need authentication from the server. And here, this bunch for conference protocol. Like, actually, for one conference, we have different entities for different payload. Like you want to use IM, you need to create a conference for instance message. You need to transfer the audio video. You need to create a conference for audio video. You need to share your desktop. You need to create the conference for application sharing. So so even for one core, you have a different this kind of communication. You created the cyber conference in one session. So this are all for create a conference protocol. This is a base protocol for conference, and this is a process for conference, and this is for IM, this is for audio video conference, and this is for application share, and so on. And we also have two HTTP protocols which give you the ability to create the web conference. That means you do not even need to install the Lync client to have the conference with with other Lync users. You can use your Internet Explorer and use one address which Lync server gives you to join the meeting. So that's all for the protocol families. So here I choose one of the most common used Lync protocol so that we can step into that protocol to look into Lync. So CPREGE, this protocol is used for the registration of a Lync user. So most of the Lync scenario, this is the first step. Ask the user to register to the server, so the server knows that you are online now. REGE, this protocol have only 4 important messages. One is register, and register, that means tell the server you are online now. And the second one is subscribe. What does that mean? Once you get online, you need to know the status of other user, whether he's available, whether he's busy, whether he's offline. So we need to subscribe the other users' information. And we also need to, the server lets us know when those status change. So we also need the notif message. So this is a basic function for this protocol, CPREGE. And here you can see all those message format and the message I derived from the RFC protocol. So this is a different from other protocols. Almost all the Lync protocols I derived from RFC protocol. And here is the first one is 3261, and the second one is 3265. Almost all the framework of the online conference have been defined by those RFC standard protocols. Microsoft protocol just extend some field, like some format of the detail. So this is one example of Lync protocol. Then let's take a look at one typical scenario. As I have just introduced to you, the online conference call is the most common use scenario, and actually most of us use this scenario every day. We need to call the guys in Redmond and show our report to them, and they assign their task to us. So that's the most common user scenario. Later, I will show the message sequence of this scenario. And here, this is a message sequence for this typical scenario. The first one is restriction and authentication. And here, each step actually contains multiple message from the server to client and the client to server. I just combine them to one to make it easier for you to understand. So firstly, registration and authentication. Let the server ask the server to let you online, and authentication, you are whether a valid user. So the first step, the related protocol is SIP rigid protocol. This is for restriction, and the second one is SIP AE. This protocol is for authentication. After you get online, you need to create the audio AV conference. The framework, just a framework of audio video conference. So step 2, the related protocol is Conf Base, Conf Pro, and Conf AV. The Conf Base is create the base framework of a conference, and the Conf Pro is about the process for create a conference, and Conf AV gives you have already created the framework for conference. Now you need to transfer the audio and video data, so that you need to negotiate the parameters, network condition, like this kind of parameter for the audio video conference. So the Conf AV protocol is used for design for this. And after you create the audio video conference, you need to negotiate the AV configuration. This one is designed for to pass through the firewall, because take a domain controller, for example. If there is a computer inside the domain controller, some computer outside will never lose a public address for this computer. So we need to map the private address to some public address, so that we can transfer our real-time payload directly. We do not want the server to redirect our real-time data, because the data may be the data may be huge from each user, so we do not want. So that's why we want to negotiate the IP address and the port for the real-time medias. So that's step 3. Step 3, we have 3 protocols. I only need 3 here, but we have a bunch of them. I remember it's more than 10. This is 3 typical protocols for how to make this. It's just to make the real-time media can pass through the firewall, transfer the private address to the public address like this. And after we negotiate I negotiate the real-time media parameter with the server. Now I can invite another user where I want to have a media conference with him. So first I tell the Lync server I want to invite another user, and then the server will forward my invite to that user, because for me I don't know where is this user, but the server knows. So server need to forward this message to the user 2, and the user 2, for him, he also need to negotiate the parameters, how to pass through the firewall like this, kind of how to map the private address to public address. And then the user 2 will send the job conference request to the server, and the server will notify. After the user 2 joins the conference, the server will send a notify message to user 1 to let him know, okay, the other user has already joined the meeting, so you can have a conference call now. So from here, a user is starting to send their data, and the server can forward this data to user 2. This is the most simple scenarios, because we only have 2 users. But for most of the time, we have multiple users, right? So in that case, the user 1 will send the data to the server, and the server just duplicates those data and so send those data to different users. That's the most common scenarios. And if we only have 2 users, they will transfer data. They will send data directly to each other. And here, I draw this just because I want to show multiple, when the most common scenarios, we have multiple users. But if we only have 2 users as well at the meeting, they will send the data directly to each other. And this is step 5. We use the real-time format, real-time metadata format protocols. So that's a typical Lync scenario, and the related protocols. So that's all for my today's presentation. Any questions? Yeah?
Is there any integration with Jabber?
Jabber?
XMPP?
Yeah.
SMTP?
XMPP?
XMPP? Sorry, I don't know the answer, but I can check offline and discuss with you, okay?
Sure.
Yeah. Actually, currently we have a lot of a lot of software. Yeah.
Support for XMPP for like Jabber. So Jabber can talk to Lync.
Yeah.
Like,
If
for instance, Cisco and I, we can talk on IM
yeah.
today. We're federated.
So if they can talk to Lync, they may just connect to the agent user. But I don't know exactly what the implementation for them. But a lot of companies implement the protocol of Lync. But they might be implement the RFC standard protocol. Might not be Lync protocols, but I just don't know. So any more questions? Okay, thanks.